Today we are going to be making one of my favorite make-ahead breakfasts, and that is chocolate chip baked oatmeal. You guys are going to love this. It's simple, it's easy. One bowl is all that's required, and I bet you have the ingredients in your pantry right now. Let's get cooking. I'm Sam with Bites of Wellness. Thank you for coming here. I can't wait to make this with you today. So to get started, step one is to preheat your oven to 350 degrees so your oven is ready for you when we are done mixing everything together. Now this is a super quick and easy, just kind of put everything in a bowl, mix it up, and you're done recipe, which are always my favorite. We are going to start with making the base, which is dairy-free milk. Use any kind that you love. And ground flax. So the flax is going to act as the binder. There are no eggs at all in this recipe, super kid friendly. I'm just going to add the flax seeds and then stir it up. Just all you need is a spoon. No fancy equipment needed for this. You're just making sure that there are no kind of clumps of flax left. Flax does have a tendency to want to clump up if you don't stir it right away. So that is done. Next, we are going to add the sweetener. I'm sweetening this with maple syrup. You are welcome to use whatever your favorite liquid sweetener is. Just need 1/3 cup of that. Now this recipe isn't super sweet, but remember there are chocolate chips going in here as well, so we don't want our breakfast to be too much like dessert. This gives it just the perfect amount of sweetness. Just going to quick stir this in. And we're almost done, guys. This is easy stuff. And like I said, this is great for make-ahead meals or prepping in advance. We're going to add a lot of oats, and I recommend using rolled oats for this. In a pinch, you can use quick oats, but rolled oats have that big texture, so they really absorb all of this liquid. And if you are like everyone in my family, you may notice that oats don't always make you feel the best. And so we started using these sprouted oats, and they're a lot easier to digest. So if that's an issue in your house, I highly recommend using sprouted oats. We're just going to mix this up and add the rest of the ingredients. I got baking powder to help it rise slightly. I've got vanilla, make it taste like a cookie. I'm pretty liberal with my vanilla, but the recipe technically says a teaspoon. And we're just going to stir all that up. And this is going to look soupy, I understand. It's going to bake up in the oven. It's going to absorb most of this right here in the oven. And last step is to add the chocolate chips. I recommend 1/3 cup, but you do you. Add as much as you want. Don't go too overboard. And I'm going to give you a little food blogger trick, which is to save a few of the chocolate chips for the topping. So we're just going to stir that in real quick. And put it in the casserole dish. So I've got an 8 by 11, just regular old casserole pan. I'm going to spray it lightly just to make sure nothing sticks, not too crazy. And then we're just going to pour this in. It's not the best sound, is it? All right, that's enough. And then you want to make sure, once this is all in the casserole dish, you want to make sure that everything is kind of spread out and even. You don't want a big clump on one side. You want it all kind of even. Again, this is going to absorb this liquid as it cooks. And then we're going to make it pretty because it's always fun to eat pretty food, and add a few right on the top of those chocolate chips. And we are ready for the oven. It's going to go in a 350-degree oven for about 45 minutes. And there's no good way to tell if it's done because it's going to still be a little soft as it comes out of the oven, but just trust me, 350 at 45 minutes. So this is hot right out of the oven. If you love just the texture of oatmeal that you would make in the microwave or on the stove, you can dig into this right away. But my favorite way to enjoy these baked oats are to let this cool for at least 20 minutes. And that's going to allow us to have a baked oatmeal that's like cuttable, that will stay into squares, which makes it great for on-the-go breakfast. So I'm going to show you that once this cools for about 20 minutes. I've let this cool. It is cool to the touch at this point, so we're going to cut this into squares, which is how I like to keep the baked oatmeal in the fridge. I'm just going to go around the edge really quick just to make sure nothing is sticking, and then cut it in half, and then quarters. And then right down the middle. As you can see, this really set up after it got done baking. Grab a spatula. Spatula to the rescue. Okay. You can see this is staying together completely. It's not crumbly, and it will just stay in the fridge just like this. To serve this, you are welcome to pretty much add anything you want on top. I love some nut butter just drizzled over top. You could also add some sliced berries, or if you want to make, I have a really great recipe on the website for a maple yogurt drizzle, which is high in protein. It really helps to balance out the meal. Make sure you check that out. It'll be linked below, I promise. But for this, we're just going to have a quick taste test and see how we did. Breakfast. It's so good, but I got nut butter all. I can't talk. There's so much nut butter on that spoon. Okay, let's have a real bite. It's slightly chewy, really soft, tender. That chocolate, the vanilla, oh my gosh, it's perfect. Add more than the recipe says every time. That's the code I live by, at least. This is perfect though. It's just sweet enough that your kids are going to love it, but you don't feel bad serving it to them. And honestly, it keeps in the fridge. You can have it for snacking or breakfast, but you could also add a little extra maple syrup and have it for dessert. It's that good. I hope you try it. Make sure you check out the recipe, which is linked below. Give us a follow for more simple, healthy recipes just like this. See you again. Okay, hi, I'm Sam. Welcome to my show. Ready? I'm sucking myself up. Go, go, go. All right. Do I have chocolate in my teeth? No. Okay, this way.